Welcome in once again to another episode of the Crimson Corner. I, of course, am your host, Michelle Bodkin, your Utah Utes insider for KSLSports.com. And if you're wondering why we have such a quick turnaround on this particular episode, it's because something cool is coming up at the end of this week that I just wanted to highlight one more time and make sure that you all were aware of. And to help me do that, I have Utah center Jaren Kump on with me to explain what's going on here. So, Jaren, how are you?
I'm doing great. How you doing, Michelle?
I'm doing pretty well. So you guys are putting together a cool camp. It sounds like Cam Rising, of course, is heading the thing, but he's asked a bunch of you to come and help out, and you've got a couple of cool different components going on with it. So tell me what's the name of the camp and what exactly are you guys doing?
Yeah, so it's the Cam Rising Stars camp. It's happening this weekend, or it'd be next weekend, I guess, down at Herriman High School. There's multiple components to it. There's an actual camp part where Cam and a couple of us other players on the team will be, offering drills and and running a camp for kids of the area. And I believe that's already full now. I think it's already a packed house, but so we're excited about that. And another component of it is actually the food drive. So the other this is like another really big component of this whole event going on, where what we're doing is we're actually bringing the team equipment truck down to Herriman High School, and we're going to leave the back of it open, and we're going to try and fill the thing with food. The food goes to an organization called For the Kids Foundation. It's an organization that specializes in trying to offer food to those kids in need around the Salt Lake area. It's actually a really cool deal. I did spend a little bit of time looking into it, and it's a really cool cause. And so yeah, that's kind of the idea of this event. It's not just for kids, but it's the idea of it is supposed to be a whole community thing. Bring out everybody, every Utah fan possible that in the area, and let's make it a big deal. It's kind of the idea of this. And so and my favorite part about this whole thing is, and I mentioned this a couple weeks ago on a different radio, was that us players are receiving none of the proceeds for this. We're doing this voluntarily. All the proceeds are going to For the Kids Foundation, that food, for the food drive, and also for the kids of the area, right? And I believe in Herriman specifically, and so it's a really cool thing. We're doing this, right, because we love football, and we do want to give back to the community that really kind of makes us who we are.
Yeah. You mentioned in all of that, this camp is full. There's no more room to have participants come in that way, but you guys are doing that food drive, and anybody that's familiar with that equipment truck is big.
Hmm.
So it's going to take a lot to fill that, but that's an area
Yes,
where fans can still participate, right?
100%. Yes, we invite, and we are asking, all fans of that are in the area that are available, right? We're asking all fans to come and enjoy. If what I understand as well, there's going to be other events going on. I don't really know all the details about it, but there's going to be other things going on around, I guess, Herriman High School at that time. Um, and so yeah, it's going to be a big event. It's going to be kind of a big deal, and we're excited. We're really excited about it.
And if I'm not mistaken, actually, fans that do bring food for the drive have the opportunity to win some cool stuff that you guys signed. Am I right on that?
You are right on that. Yeah. So from what I believe, there will be some jerseys that will be signed by us players. I believe some helmets that will, again, signed by us players, and I'm not sure how those are going to go out, but if it's going to be I don't think it's going to be like an auction, but it's going to be like some sort of dealing where they're going to have the opportunity to win some of those stuff, and that's a really cool deal. You want to put it in your house and whatnot. So I invite and I encourage everyone to come out to it. Whether or not you win, right? Those some of those cool things, it's going to be a fun deal.
And that's June 13th and 14th this week. So Thursday and Friday, fans have an
Mhm.
opportunity to come out, participate in the food drive. If you're doing the camp, obviously you get to spend time with guys like Jaren and Cam and Jalen Glover, I believe was
Mhm.
on the list. And
Yep.
who knows who else is coming out, but it should be a good time.
Yeah, it would be a really great time. Yeah, it would be a really great time. I'm excited to give back. Especially to the Herriman community. Kind of where we're at. A part of me grew up. Out there, and so I'm excited. We're excited about that.
How special is that to be able to go back and not only represent the university that you're currently playing at, but also the high school that you graduated from?
When I saw it was happening at Herriman, that really intrigued me to jump onto it. Because I love Herriman with all my heart. I love Herriman. That what the not only the school but what the Herriman community, and Riverton and South Jordan community, Bluffdale, what those communities have done for me. Is I can never repay them back. So this is my I guess for me, I'm trying to give a little bit back to what I can, because I have nothing but appreciation for that community that has helped me make who I am.
I think another cool component of this camp that you talked about, you guys are working with kids, but there's one component, you guys are working with special needs kids, and oftentimes camps like this kind of exclude them. There isn't a lot of thought put into how can they be included or have a camp themselves. What I don't know what went into the decision making on that process, and what can people expect to see from that portion of the camp?
Yeah, so that's another, that I was told about that a couple weeks ago, about the special needs camp portion of it. And that's really cool for me, because that was good. Like you said, you don't really hear about that kind of that side does sometimes get forgotten about.
Mhm.
Honestly, what it went into the decision making, I'm not 100% sure. I was not in on that, but knowing Cam as a person, knowing the kind of guy that he is, he's one of those guys that's just one of the dudes on the football team. He talks to everyone, includes everyone, hangs out with everyone. And so I would imagine, right, I would imagine it probably came from him. This idea of, let's get everyone involved. Let's even find those that sometimes are forgotten about. And so that's that. So it sounds 100% like Cam's personality, to have that component of the event.
That's interesting. Like speak to Cam's leadership, because I just don't think that we kind of know about that from the outside, but you get to live it every single day. What's he like as a person?
He is, how should I describe it? Contagiously optimistic and contagiously positive, right? He's
Mhm.
it's an awesome, right? He does a very good job at uplifting everybody, and he doesn't do it by putting anyone down. He's not the cocky kind of guy. He's not the guy that would ever put anybody down, but he's the kind of guy that he's trying to lift everyone else up to the level that he's at, and that's it. It's a really cool thing that the kind of person that he is. Um yeah, that I think contagiously optimistic and contagiously um uplifting. I think that's a perfect way of describing his style of leadership. Yeah.
And Jaren, I mean, honestly, you've been on the team for a long time now, and I would probably venture to guess you're also considered a leader on the team. What is your leadership style like? And now that you've moved to center, how does that work in coordination with, what Cam brings and what some of the other guys on the offensive line bring?
Yeah, so my style of leadership is I could definitely take some pointers from Cam, being that contagiously optimistic guy. I'm much more, I guess, mellow when it comes to it. Um when I try to lead people, I try to lead them one on one, if that makes sense. So I try to, go up to the person that I can see maybe struggling, and chatting with them, talking with them, trying to help them out. Um and so that's kind of my style. Is I try to find the guy who may need help, and I quickly, go over and I um try to offer my helping hand. I'm not really the hoorah guy. I'm not really gonna be in the middle of the team, giving the pregame speech. I'm not. That's not really my style. I'm not really that kind of guy. I'm more of a one-on-one sort of leader. But I try to make that one-on-one leadership with every individual, especially within the offensive line. And as you asked, as a center, um, the center in a sense has to be the leader of the O line. It's a position that demands, you're right in the middle, you're right in front of the quarterback. You are the quarterback of the offensive line. Um, a lot of the decisions on how different play schemes are going to be ran is based off of your identification and your your recall of the play and the way that you see the defense, and everyone else has to adjust off of what you have what you have called. Um, and so yes, as a center, you do have to. There is that aspect where it does demand the leadership, being the center, which it is something that I do enjoy. I do enjoy playing center. I kind of and I also do enjoy I guess communicating with the boys on the O line.
Talk about the depth of the O line. I just barely did an article the other day, kind of looked through, who's there. And you guys seem to have a very interesting mix of guys that have played quite a bit, guys that have been on the team for a long time, but maybe haven't had their opportunity yet. And then these young guys that just seem to have an endless amount of talent. What do you think you guys are going to bring to the field this year?
Yeah, I agree with you. There's that different mix of different kinds of guys. I think one thing that we and this is something I've noticed in the past couple of years, but I think this trend is continuing for us as an O line, is that I think our depth is very, very good. We have, I honestly can say, maybe 10 to 11 guys in our offensive line group that could that have the ability to start football games, right? To have the ability to start football games and to help us win football games. And that's a huge, huge tool and a huge advantage. It's a great thing when in the all line room, when you have, I believe, so many guys that have that ability to go into a game and help us win, and so I think that's something that we've kind of seen the past couple of years in this online, and I think that's something that's still trending. That's something that's still coming up. With these young guys, I think a lot of these young guys have come in and really stepped up. I think some of them are going to come in and they're going to have the ability to play, and there's going to be competition in fall camp, and us older guys got to be ready for it, of course. And so I guess all of us got to be ready for it, because there's a different mixture of different guys that could potentially play. And so, but that's one thing that I think that fans could feel comfortable about, is that we have enough guys, we have the depth, or if anybody happens to go down, unfortunately, knock on wood, we have plenty of guys to have the chance, to have the ability to help us win games.
Kind of speaking of the injuries, you were one of the many walking wounded last year for this team. How is your health, and how is the rest of the team looking early on in summer?
I would describe healthy as a horse. I think we're doing really well. Me personally, I'm feeling really good, really feeling really healthy. And I think the rest of the team, I think we're healthier now than we were a year ago. I think we're much healthier now. We got a lot less guys in the injury pit right now than we did a year ago, and so it's a positive thing.
And then, of course, on top of giving back to the community, you guys are putting in the work. How are summer workouts going? What are you guys kind of working on and focusing and fine tuning before you head into fall camp?
Yeah, so something that it's a little tweak that has been made in our summer conditioning program with the strength staff is we're trying to we're looking at the different sports science numbers that we use, right, to that we use, and we're using those to basically align how can we maximize our reps each and every day in a form that's going to help us build what we have and build what we can get, right, in strength and conditioning wise, and all doing that while in a format that's not going to put us in as much risk for soft tissue injury going into fall camp. And so the strength coaches did kind of lay it out for us, right? There are some changes, and there's some changes this off season to, in other words, keep us healthy. The simple words, to keep us healthy, and to get us, and to do it in more, I guess, scientifically intelligent way, you know.
Yeah.
And so it's exciting. It's good.
In some ways, it feels like same year, same business. You guys are projected to do quite well. But there is a difference. You're not going to be in the Pac-12, you're going to be in the Big 12. You know, what are
Mhm.
you looking forward to the most? What's the team looking forward to the most? Or is it really just kind of business as usual for you?
There is that aspect of business as usual. You know, we're confident what we do and how we do things, of course. But at the same time, we also recognize, you know, we us players see it on social media as well. We got a little bit of a target on our backs coming into the Big 12. You know, like I think I believe that we're the team that a lot of people are marking their calendars for. You know, and we got to be ready for that. You know, I think we're gonna get the best of every team that we play, and I truly believe that. You know, we got to be ready for that. You know, and so there is that aspect of, you know, keep doing what we're doing, but there's also the aspect of we got to get after it a little bit because other teams are going to be ready for us. We better be ready. You know, so that's kind of the approach we're taking.
I love it. To kind of again swing back to the charity end of it, and the community service end of it, this isn't the only thing you guys have been involved in. Obviously, the Crimson Collective keeps you all very, very busy with a bunch of different options and things to do. What have been some of your favorite community service projects that you've done with the Crimson Collective?
Yeah, I think the one that comes to mind right now is the Sammy's Buddy program, right? That's a program that we are very well involved in. We we go to events quite frequently. We go to Sammy's Buddy events, which for those who don't know, Sammy's Buddy is an organization that does events directed for kids of special needs, right? And kind of like what we were talking about earlier, sometimes the forgotten crowd, you know. And this is specifically what Sammy's Buddy is kind of for. And so us players, right, it gives us the opportunity to be a part of that. And so that's the first thing that comes to mind for different things that we've done. We've done Special Olympics. I guess we did the Special Winter Olympics this past winter, and we're actually doing the Special Summer Olympics come here in a little bit with the Sammy's Buddy program. And so that's, I guess, to answer your question quickly, that's the first thing that comes to mind.
And then I feel like, you know, as a player that's made it to, you know, some of the highest levels of football you can go, playing at a top collegiate team, having grown up in this area, a lot of those kids that you're talking about obviously look up to you in a crazy, crazy way. Who was that person for you when you were coming up?
That person, I ain't gonna lie. It's a guy I played high school with at Herriman, actually.
Oh, really?
A big guy, you know, a big guy that I've looked up to, and I actually still look up to. His name's Andre James. He's the starting center for the Raiders right now. But I played with him my freshman year. He was a senior. I didn't really know him too well, but I looked up to him when I was a freshman. And then he went on and played tackle. He went on and played tackle at UCLA. Did very well there. And now he's in the league. And so he's a guy that I still look up to. I think me and I think me and him have some similarities when it comes to our play in football. We're both really tall for our position. I'm about 6'5". He's about 6'5". As a center, that's pretty tall. And I think we're both very athletic, and I do think we both of us have that little bit of a nastiness to us, and so I look up to him a lot. I would say Andre James is a guy I look up to.
Well, okay, Jaren, before I let you go, I want to give you the chance one more time, plug what you guys are doing this week and get fans to come out.
Yes, let's go. Yeah, I'm excited for this weekend, or for the week, for the Rising Stars camp. I'm excited for it. I'm excited for the whole event, not just the camp. Please, let's get everyone out here to make it fun. Let's make it even more of a fun deal. Come out and hang out with us players, some of us guys, and let's do some good for the community while we're doing it as well.
Well, Jaren, Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me about the camp and some of the things going on with Utah football right now. I will actually see you sometime at one of the camps, and I am so excited to see what you guys do and how that looks and comes together. And I am also really excited to start covering you guys for real again, heading into the 2024 season. That'll be fun.
Let's go. I'm excited for that. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you for this opportunity today.
No problem. All right. Well, you heard it from Jaren Kump, Utah Center. Please, please, please come out, participate. Again, camp spots are full, but you can still come out and donate food. And it's going to a great cause. Everything involved with this camp is going to a great cause in one way or another. So help these guys make a difference in our community. And until next time, go Utes.
Go Utes.